Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. Welcome to my channel, and in this video I want to show you how you can make any top pattern that you have in a knit and turn it into a dress, because it's basically just lengthening it, right? So it can be done two ways, and it's got to do with the type of top that you have. Now in the past I have lengthened a tank top called the Dune tank, and it's by a pattern company that had to close down called Valentine and Stitch. But you can find similar tank top patterns with other companies. It's just a basic tank top with bands here and a band across the neckline with some shaping, but otherwise it's got quite a loose fit around the hips. So I'll show you one of these here. This is a jersey that I bought in Bolivia. So basically the tank was up to there, and then I lengthened it to hit me just above the knee. Very easy to do, and I'm going to retrieve old footage of a dress I already lengthened like that, and I showed it on my channel many months ago, but I'm going to retrieve that footage so you can see it here. So this is the front pattern piece, and from that curve I just made I put a piece of paper there that I stuck together with a tiny bit of tape, and I just extended that. That's the fold line. And then that curve from the hip, I got rid of that little peaky, pokey bit there, so you can see that line there, and then I just extended that to the length I wanted. So if you see my tape measure from the shoulder there to the bottom, this measures 102 centimeters, and that is the length I like, just over the knee for a nice casual dress. So from here, where that tank finishes, is 35 centimeters. So I measured 35, 35, 35, 35. That's why you see that slight curve there. And this is enough fullness for me. Like I wouldn't make it more like A-lined, This is how I like it. Just a little bit skimming over my hips. Not skin tight, but not huge either. And that is my style. That is what I like. And this tank is perfect. You just make it and just extend a little bit, and then I have a dress instead. Easy peasy. So if you like that loose, boxy, secret pajama look, and you can pull it off because of your body shape and stuff, it's just very easy. Just keep going, lengthening that line, and you'll get like an A-line shape that you curve the hemlines at the bottom, and you get this very loose, boxy dress. Now I have 2 or 3 of these in my wardrobe, and I will happily wear these around the house, in the garden. I'll wear them for sleeping, but I won't wear them to go out that much because I don't think they suit me that much because of my bust, and I really do need things that are fitted to me, because or else I just look huge. So if I have something falling straight down from my bust down without any definition, it just makes me look huge, and I don't want to look like that. I want to look more like I just want my waist and stuff to be a bit more defined. So if you have like a tighter fitting top, and I'll give an example like the Agnes top from Tilly and the Buttons. I've recently made the Wanted Tee by Vanessa Pouzet. Or even if you have the bodice of a dress that's fitted, like the Moneta dress, that's a very fitted bodice, and the Turner dress from Cashmere Patterns, also very fitted bodice for knits. You can use those and adapt that and lengthen it into a dress, but it's a dress that's going to follow your shape. So it's going to follow the shape of your waist, and then around your hips and all the way down. So I have made a dress like this. It's bodycon style. Now I don't want it to look like this, where it's like mega tight around and shows every bit. No, I don't want it to look like that. I want it to look like this. Now I'm inserting pictures here of the look that I aim for. So fitted but not extra tight. So I never want to have negative ease more than 1 or 2 inches around my hips. I think 1 inch of negative ease is enough to like define your shape without making you look like you're trying to show off too much, So I have filmed the process for you using the Wanted Tee pattern as a base for all this part. I don't change the neckline, the armholes, all the same. What I'm doing is lengthening it and keeping my shape. So you can adapt this and use your own measurements to how you're going to lengthen it, and I explain how, and that's coming on next. So I've got my wanted top on and I've tied a ribbon around just to make sure where my actual natural waist height is. You can see the red ribbon marks it really well. So I'm going to get a pin and just mark it with a pin there at that height. One in the back, and I'll put a pin on the back as well. So then I'm going to take off this top and go and compare it to the pattern pieces and mark on my pattern piece exactly where my waist hits on the pattern piece of the top. So here I have placed, I've already done the pattern, but I'm going to explain how I got to that. This is the front part. You can see the square neckline there. So I've got my wanted tee on top of my pattern. Anyway, I put my wanted tee on top of white paper and I traced around, but before that I determined the height of my natural waist. So arm side and necklines are not going to change because that's the whole point of the dress. The wanted tee just reaches up to the hip, so I will remove this piece there, and this is my dress. So you can see I've marked with this line here the height of my natural waist, and I got that by measuring with the ribbon, as you saw. So from my natural waist down I have marked another line here at 20 centimeters. So when I measure myself from my natural waist to the fullest, where the fullest part of my hip is, that distance is 20 centimeters. So I've marked a line there as well. And when I measure across, you have 28 centimeters here. So this is on the fold, and so for the front, I'm going to have a width of 56 centimeters across my hips. So that is the only modification. Then the length that you want to give it is up to you. I like mine just above my knee. I have noted there that I have to add 1 centimeter seam allowance to the dress. So yeah, this is just a basic pattern with no seam allowance on the side. This is going to stay the same, everything else stays the same. So that is the front piece. So for the back, you can also see my wanted tee pattern on top of the paper. I have also determined the height of my natural waist there on the pattern, and that's why the waist stops there. So that is my natural waist there. Also the 20 centimeters, you know, which is the difference, the same as the front piece. And now for the back, I measure this across, it's 27 centimeters. So 27 times 2 is 54. So that is the width I have on the back. Now, why is the back a bit narrower than the front? Because the front sometimes needs more width to accommodate for the bust. Anyway, I also added my back dart that I think is always a good add to any pattern, even if it's knit, because I'm using this dress, I wouldn't use it on a really thin knit. This would be for a medium to heavyweight knits like pontes or Liverpools or scuba. So at the height of my waist there, that's where I started the dart. It's 3 centimeters in depth. Up the top I gave it 15, and towards the bottom 18, 19, 20 actually, 20. So 15 here, 20 there. And then I've just, you know, drawn the dart. That's it basically. So now I'm going to show you a close-up of some maths to figure out how I got this hip measurement to fit me. For the front, it's on the fold, so I have 28 centimeters times 2 is 56 centimeters. And for the back, it's 27 times 2, so add these. And I'm going to have an all-round circumference of 110 around the fullest part of my hips. Now my fullest part of my hips is 113, so this is slightly smaller, but that's fine because negative ease is okay when the fabric is stretchy. So cool, so I'm actually wearing my dress. You can see it's the wanted tee neckline, it's square. I showed you this already on my May Makes recap video. I'll link it down below if you haven't seen that. But I only showed it a little bit, I didn't really show much. So you can see that square neckline there. Very nice, fits really nicely. And of course I made the dress sleeveless. You know, I just omitted the sleeves basically. I didn't make any changes to the arm side, and it's closed enough to how I like it, so it's not going that low where you're gonna see pieces of my bra or anything like that showing. And the way I verify that that arm size is the correct length before making changes is I measure it from here to here, like on the pattern. So I'll show you that now. Here I have my front pattern piece, and you see I've put my tape measure from the top of my shoulder. So if you measure from the top down to where that arm side, you know, starts, you know, the height, it's 21.5 centimeters. Now if I discount the amount I'm going to use like for binding and just say it's like a centimeter more, the height will be 22.5 centimeters, and that is the amount I want. Anywhere between 21 and 23 centimeters of the length of an arm side will be, you know, good enough coverage for me there. Anything lower than 23, if I measure like another tank top and this is like lower down to there, then I will start making modifications to raise it and get it to this height. So for this specific pattern, I didn't need to modify anything here. I'm quite happy with it. Now, how do I know that that is my preferred length? And it's because of the clothes I wear, the things I like, and how I want them to fit. I have measured the height of that arm side and I know what my preferred height is. So you can't see because of the stupid wall behind me, but you know, it does follow my shape. There is my natural waist right there, and then it goes out. So I have taken some photos outside in the garden where you can actually see the whole dress properly in different angles. So that's coming up next. So as you can see, I did achieve the result I was looking for. I wanted a fitted dress, but not hugely tight. You know, I'd never want to be wearing something so tight around my hips, and like, I don't want to highlight my back part of, you know, like the back part of me that much either. So 1 inch of negative ease around my hips is perfect. This is a very nice structured knit. It's a scuba, you know, so it holds the shape really nicely. It's not the type of fabric that's going to show every lump and bump that you have. It's not, you know, it's very, very nice. So I would never make this type of dress in a really thin knit. Not even, probably hitting on to medium to thick knits, you know. So I definitely make this again in like a ponte roma. Liverpool maybe, I don't know, just a thicker knit fabric, not your very stretchy, you know, non-structured knits, because yeah, something that's so fitted to you can't be that thin, you know. And like I made this other dress very flowy, very wide. This is a thin to medium weight knit, and that is a special type of knit for these flowy things, you know. So I hope you found this interesting. Let me know if you would try to make yourself like a dress from a top or from a bodice, you know. Usually those fitted bodices on dresses then come up with this full skirt, but you know, my preferred look is sleek, you know, like long lines. So I usually take those bodices and add on a pencil skirt at the bottom, or the other option is just to lengthen that pattern piece and make it into a dress with one pattern piece. And that's really good if you've got lovely print that you don't want to cut up and stuff like that. That is all for now. Thank you so much for watching and spending a little bit of time on my channel with me, seeing the stuff that I get up to with my sewing. See you next time very soon. I hope you're having fun sewing, you're making nice things for yourself. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss a sewing tip with me. Bye.